I don't have a specific message, but like I've seen people want to pick up the guitar because they heard me play or something like that, or they said, wow, I want to learn blues now or something like that, and I love that.
Hello, my name is Bele Maluenda, and welcome to the Indie Seat.
So yeah,
Bryan Vill, hello. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Indie Seat.
How's it going?
Pretty well. How are you?
I'm great. Berlin, right?
Bele.
Cool. Yeah.
So you are a Miami-born blues musician, videographer, video editor. You're a bit of a journalist as well. You have your fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
How did you first get interested in such a variety of outlets?
Well, first it was my love for movies and acting when I was like a little kid. So I like that type of stuff. Stuff like Jim Carrey stuff and SNL and all that stuff, but like a lot of comedy. But other than that, I didn't care about music until I was like 18 or 19. That's when I got this guitar, actually. That's when I started with the music. So it was mostly, you know, films and music, and then I just said, hey, whatever, there was a camera available, and I just started doing that. But it was just like trying to taste a lot of things, basically.
So what came first, the guitar or the camera?
Since you mentioned pie, that's kind of funny tasting. Anyways, what'd you say?
What came first, the guitar or the camera?
Oh, definitely the guitar. Yeah, I'm still learning about the camera. I should have never said that because I do videos for comedians and musicians, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still I'm an amateur.
So I should rephrase, what came first, comedy or guitar?
Wow. Well, I don't know. Well, what do you mean by comedy? Because I just recently started liking stand-up comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I liked, like back then I would like other things, but stand-up wasn't, you know, I just didn't care about that. But Dan Bell, like 2 or 3 years ago, he's a comedy producer. He started doing something at Churchill's. He's from Houston. Actually, he's from New York. And he started doing things, and then he knew that I love music. So I started learning from him, stand-up comedy. He learned about musicians in Miami with me. And then we just kind of like started doing shows. That's how I learned about stand-up.
Well, how would you say your mentality differs when you're creating music versus working with other mediums?
Music compared to anything else?
Like acting. You've done some acting as well, right?
A little bit, yeah. I've done like small little things, but not a lot. That's the one thing that I want to actually dig in next, because I haven't done that much. I've noticed a lot of times, well, at least in the movies when I watch it, it always seems like, New York and California and Atlanta have such a great, culture for that, and comedians I assume that they're banking and they're making money, you know what I mean? $100, $200 a night, whatever it is, $300, $400, I don't know. You'll be amazed. But here, I don't see that. I don't see that much. So I want to kind of maybe do something about that, so. Is
that something you're trying to do with your series, Combos with Bryan?
Yeah, Combos with Bryan, that's what I do now. I'm glad you mentioned that too. That's like on YouTube, I'm going to start putting that. Right now it's on Instagram and Facebook, but I want to start doing that series on YouTube and start really digging into that. But yeah, it connects to that. The thing that's special about it is that I didn't want it to be real interviews, but it turns out that they are. Because a lot of the comedians, they'll come and they're like, hey, you want to do an interview or whatever? And I'm like, oh crap. Because in the beginning, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something else, but it now became that. And I guess it's I like it for that reason,
I mean, you've been working on other projects like videography, video editing.
Exactly. That's also something I like because I figure, I don't know why it is. I think I started listening to Gary Vee like 2 years ago. And I was doing a lot of music with Mercury Wolf, and she got me into him. And one of the things that, he's like one of those motivational speakers. And there's a lot of speakers out there, but this one, he's pretty cool and interesting. And he'll say things like, taste everything, bite as much as you can, and just do it. Don't be, you have to in order to figure out what you really like. And if you don't, then I don't know, then you just, maybe you might limit yourself, and you don't know it. So I try to understand as much as I can. If I want to do something on the stage, maybe I should understand the camera. If I'm gonna do something with music, maybe I should understand something with the speakers or the sounds or whatever like that, you know, instead of just being, oh no, I'm just a guitarist, I'm just a musician, that's all I do. And no, I want to see what I can do with as much as I can, you know.
You really have your fingers in a lot of pies. Ah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting hungry now. I want a pie.
So would you say that willingness to experiment with and try several different things to kind of weave them into your creative projects is a big part of your personal philosophy?
I don't know. I never thought of it that way. Maybe I weave them unintentionally, but not like, I don't try to do that. You know, it's just curiosity's kind of guiding me, at least right now. Before, I didn't allow that. But now I feel like it's more fun that way.
What is your personal philosophy?
I don't know. It's a hard one. Well, I did study philosophy.
Did you?
Yeah, at FIU. That's what I studied. So maybe I should have really like thought about that. I don't know if Bruce Lee really said this, but I always see it on like Facebook and stuff. I see like he says like be like water, right? So I think we should do that. Or, I mean, I should do that. That's my personal philosophy. I want to be like water so that I can adapt to whatever situation is happening. Now, when it comes to music or all these other things, I don't know how that ties into it, but like I feel it does because I don't know why. I just feel like you gotta like find freedom, and when you play music, there's some freedom. I feel like when somebody does acting and they get on stage, they find freedom. When a comedian does a joke and people would laugh, they get that high, you know what I mean? So, and I was able to do that too. At Marina 84, there was a Cal Thompson show. He hosted it, and I said, you know what? This is a perfect example about your pie, because he's, you know, I'm doing the interviews or whatever, and you know, people are doing stand up. So I say, you know what? I'll just do the jokes that I've been writing for 6 or 7 months, because you know some of them are inspiring. You want to write jokes yourself. So I did that, and then I got on stage and I did it, and I actually was able to taste that, and it's man, it's crazy. It's not like music or acting, because you're not waiting for a laugh when you're doing music. You're not waiting for people to laugh. So when you do a joke and no one laughs, yeah, you know, it's like you swallow your soul and you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? You call me what's that J word? Journalist.
Comedic journalist.
Comedic journalist. See, that's like, I never thought of it that way. But why do that and not understand what it is that they're even going through? I would rather go up there myself, taste what they're tasting. Now I have a better idea of what I'm even talking about. You know what I mean? Because I can't. You know, what if I decided to write something, a narrative, or if I want to write like a news report? Like, I want to know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So that's why I did that.
So I guess to some degree that goes back to your personal philosophy, which is be like water, stay fluid.
Stay fluid. Maybe you don't want to be so concrete. I feel like if you're concrete, you limit yourself. That sounds too profound. Like,
too profound? You
yeah.
study philosophy. What are you talking about?
Well, actually, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because words to me are becoming more confusing as I get older.
Really?
So right now, when you say comedic journalist, maybe I'm thinking about it too much.
Oh, you don't like that label?
No. I'm just saying, I don't know what like. Sometimes I get lost in what things mean. Like on the way, literally right before I started playing guitar, I was on Google comparing the words figuratively and metaphorically, and what is the difference between them. Because it was
you enlighten me. What
I should already know that. You know, I should have known that for like 15 years, but I went over it again, over and over again. Like, why? Anyways, this is getting boring, right?
Would you say that's something that you try to communicate through your music?
Oh, no. I don't like to bring in my personal, like, philosophies into music or anything, really, that I do.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather not. Like, if we're doing an interview, because you're asking me, then I want to be truthful, but when it comes to those type of things, I don't do that. Like, lyrics, it's not.
Do you feel that musicians have a certain responsibility to use their platform to I don't know, touch upon certain issues or be role models to listeners?
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, like a lot of people do that. I wouldn't mind, like helping people to like inspiring, like would be nice and it would be good. I don't have a specific message, but like I've seen people want to pick up the guitar because they heard me play or something like that, or they said, "Wow, I want to learn blues now," or something like that. And I love that. The more selfish reason, which would be to basically find like freedom. Yeah, find that taste of freedom, which is what people do. I think, like when people, when people do something that they're passionate about, they get a taste of that. You know what I mean? So whatever it is. My name is Bryan Vill. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and soon TikTok. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Well, Bryan, thank you so much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you here in the indie seat. I wanted to take a second to thank our producers, Context of a Generation. My name is Bele Maluenda. You can find me on Instagram as Malu Arts and on Facebook under the same name, and at BaluMalu.com. Tune in next time for the indie seat.
So that was the Indie Seat. If you like what you saw and you want to be a partner, or if you want to collaborate with us, even if you're an artist and you want to submit your work, check out our website, contextofageneration.org, or go ahead and submit an email to us at submit@contextofageneration.org. And for all the artists, make sure you put your name, your social media handles, and attach some of your work as well. And for those who are interested in being a partner or collaborating, please email us and we would love to reach back out. Peace. That was the Indie Seat. Thank you.